G'day folks, Raymond Foster here. I was asked in this thread, what is an MP? So I'd like to take this opportunity to make a short video to try to explain what an MP is. MP is short for meme pathogen, which essentially means a sick idea or a corrupted concept. Okay? So that's why it's a meme pathogen. It's like, because it's an idea, it's a concept, the meme, and it's a pathogen, which means it's a virus, it's a sickness. So it's a mind virus, which harms an individual, and in the long run, harms Western kind as a whole. Okay, when it's an anti-white MP, it means it harms all white people. Can express itself in various ways depending on the nature of the meme pathogen itself. So let's take an example here. This individual, Sarah Elizabeth, says it's not enough to be white positive, which is incorrect. That's all you need to do. You just need to be white positive. She then goes on to say you need to be white tribal as well. So white tribal, okay, this is a good example of a meme pathogen, an MP, okay? Essentially, this meme pathogen, this MP, makes you look like a baddie and thus justifies more abuse and harm of innocent white children, okay? Because they point at you and they say, oh, look, an evil white person. So we have to go abuse and molest those white children so they won't grow up to be like that evil white person. So by holding the idea in your mind of white tribalism, which is essentially caring only about white people, ignore everyone else's well-being, who cares about the non-whites, just focus on your race, white people only, and only about the well-being, and so yes, the white tribal, it's this idea of a sole focus on the interests of whites and not caring about the interests of non-white people. Now, individuals will promote this specific MP because of other MPs, meme pathogens, which they have. So idea viruses, sick ideas in their head they've been conditioned with, so they don't function properly. They harm themselves because they have these viruses that make them harm themselves. So some of the other MPs that go along with this idea, this MP called white tribal, are MPs like, if we don't have white tribalism and only care about white people, then no one's going to care about white people, and that will lead to more harm of white people. So to try to help white people, we have to only care about white people. Okay? That's the meme pathogen. That's the sick idea. The demented, corrupted idea, which leads to the harm of all members of Western kind, every white person. Okay? How? Again, they have this twisted idea. They think that, the only way we can help white people is by only focusing on helping white people. Not realizing that that's actually an idea that's been implanted in their minds, which is like they've been taught to be like that, essentially. They've been trained like dogs, tamed like animals, okay, to think in this way with these sick ideas. Specifically so, they promote what is called white tribalism, okay, only focusing on the interests and the well-being of white people and ignoring the interests and well-being of all the other races, okay? Because in reality, that just makes them look like an evil white, which is another stereotype, another meme pathogen okay, which then in combination justifies the abuse of white children. Because there's even more meme pathogens which say, if this is the case, if we got a white person like Sarah who's promoting, okay, that we be white tribal. We only care about the interests of white people because in her mind, her justification is because that's how we care for and look after the well-being of white people, by only focusing on the well-being of white people, okay? She's been conditioned, all right, trained like a dog to think that solely so that she will portray herself as an evil white, okay? And then there's this another meme pathogen in the what's called the Antiwhite Narrative, which is essentially the narrative, the story, which is crafted from all of these meme pathogens when you put them together. All right? So they all work in combination with each other. No meme pathogen is just resting on its own power, essentially. So the meme pathogen of being of white tribal, the reason why it's a meme pathogen is because of the other meme pathogens which are connected to it. One of those specific meme pathogens is, which is even taught in universities, okay? It's actually becoming a part of law. It's written into the law and it's taught in universities, is that if there are people like Sarah who are promoting white tribal, this meme pathogen, only caring for white people, the interests of white people, that means she is opposed to the interests of non-white people. She wants to round up and massacre and genocide thousands to millions of innocent non-whites just because they're non-whites. So she's psychotic and genocidal. Again, this isn't the reality. This is the meme pathogen. This is the narrative, okay, which creates the justifications for the abuse of innocent white children. So because she's promoting white tribal, there's another idea that goes along with that says, therefore, she is plotting to literally genocide and massacre innocent people just because they have a different color skin. Okay? So she actually is a psychotic, evil white supremacist who wants to kill innocent non-white babies. She wants to even slit the throats of newborn babies because they have different color skin to her. Therefore, we have to go out of our way now. We have to put an extra $1 million. Okay? The government just put another $1 million grant. We've got to write a new law. We've got to create a new curriculum for the children in primary school and start molesting and abusing the white children even more, because otherwise, again, these are all the meme pathogens that go together to create this narrative to create the excuse to abuse white children, okay? So now, because there's someone like Sarah, she's promoting white tribalism, all right? So then she becomes the evil white in the Antiwhite Narrative. Then that's added on to the other meme pathogen. Oh, so now she wants to massacre and kill innocent non-white babies. She's actually a psychotic genocidal terrorist. That's the other one goes along with it. She's literally the devil. Okay, another one goes along with it. Holy crap. That means the only way we can stop white children from growing up to be the devil and kill innocent non-whites just because they're white supremacist, evil white devils. Okay, again, and this is all the narrative being put together. That means we have to actually go out of our way. The government has to put millions of dollars into purposely, consciously, every day molesting and abusing white children so they won't grow up to be evil, psychotic, genocidal terrorists like Sarah is, because she's white tribal, and she, therefore, this other idea is attached. Therefore, she wants to kill innocent non-whites and genocide them because she's a crazy white supremacist who wants to kill all the non-white people. And that's just normal for white people to be like that, because Sarah's a normal person. She's just a normal white person. So that means it's even normal for the children to be like that. Therefore, we have to abuse and molest the white children. So, the main reason for anti-whiteism, the number one reason why white children are suffering, is because folk like Sarah are promoting meme pathogens. And the general promotion of meme pathogens, all these meme pathogens coming together, working in combination with each other, which then crafts the narrative, which is the excuse and the reason why. And again, it's detailed reasons. It's taught in universities. It's written into law. The government puts millions of dollars in subsidies and grants into, then abusing white children. So that's how much of the justification it creates, all right, by Sarah saying we got to be white tribal. That gives the government power to spend millions of dollars to just go out and abuse white children. That's how powerful and dangerous MPs are, and why you need to understand what anti-white meme pathogens are. Understand each individual specific meme pathogen, how it works in combination with other meme pathogens, and then constructs the anti-white narrative. And you need to go free, heal yourself of these MPs, so you no longer promote the narrative and excuses and justification, which then leads to white children being abused and molested on a daily basis, like Sarah is responsible for by promoting white tribalism. So that is a great breakdown, explanation of MPs, why it's so important. This individual is the one that asked. So there you go, my friend. That should give you a complete and full understanding of what MPs are, what the anti-white narrative is, how anti-whiteism works, why white people are being victimized, how it's justified. Okay? You understand the whole picture now. Now you know how the whole world works. All right? It's all about the anti-white meme pathogens that create, they're like 1 + 1 + 1, and then equals abusing white children. Okay? So if you partake in, or you promote, or you express any meme pathogen from the anti-white narrative, you are responsible for, and you are promoting the abuse and the suffering of innocent white children. That's why this Sarah is personally responsible for the molestation of white children, and she doesn't even care. She doesn't even want to reflect and heal herself of these meme pathogens, which she expresses, which then creates the justifications and excuse and actually leads to white children being molested in the real world. Her direct influence is white children are being molested and abused. And she doesn't care because she's either too stupid to understand how this works, or she just doesn't care and is happy to justify the abuse and molestation of white children. So there you go, brother. A meme pathogen is a sick idea, and this is a way more simple one, whites are inherently guilty. So if a white person thinks this, they will dislike themselves, they'll harm themselves. They'll mistreat other white people because they have a self-hatred for themselves, because they have a meme pathogen that says in their mind, they think subconsciously that they're less than human because they're white. Because that's what they've been taught to think about themselves, because that's what the anti-white narrative says. It's one of the meme pathogens in the anti-white narrative, that we're less than human because we're white. Okay? We're devils, we're demons, there's something wrong with us because we're white. Again, that is one of the meme pathogens, okay, that ties in and creates the justification of why do we have to abuse the white children? Well, so we've established, and Sarah is a white supremacist who wants to genocide non-white people. Okay, they can prove that in a court. Okay, it can be proven in a court that yes, it's 100% fact, proven in a court. All right, the evidence is all there. It will be proven, and she'll be sentenced in a court. All right, for wanting to massacre and genocide non-white people. Inciting genocide of entire races of people on the basis of their race. Okay? Proven fact. But then how do they link this up to, then that means we have to abuse white children. We have to molest the white children. Because this meme pathogen, whites are inherently guilty. There's something inherently wrong with us. That's why Sarah is genocidal maniac and wants to, and can even be sentenced in court, okay, because she promoted white tribalism. That means she can literally be sentenced in a courtroom by a judge for inciting genocide. She promoted the meme pathogen of caring only about white people. So she can go to jail for inciting genocide of non-whites. And she's just a normal white person. So clearly, there's something wrong with white people. That ties in, because we're inherently guilty, we're less than human, we're demonic. That means we have to abuse and molest the white children. Destroy them, okay? Repress them, make them suicidal. Because otherwise they're going to grow up to be demons, white devils. And they're going to want to massacre and genocide innocent non-white people, just like Sarah, because that's just a normal white person. So, there you go. If you still don't understand meme pathogens after this video, this explanation, my guess is you're too low IQ, you'll never understand. So, when we tell you what a meme pathogen is, just never express it. Otherwise, you're an anti-white scum, even if you don't understand how or why. And only express things in ways that we explain is correct and healthy for the well-being, okay, the collective well-being, recapturing of our destiny as a people. If you can't comprehend the entire anti-white narrative and all their meme pathogens that I've gone over, and the thousands more that exist, and how they all work in interaction with each other. If you don't understand all that, and you can't teach it to children in a simple and basic way because you comprehend it so well, then you listen to us who do comprehend it, okay, and you only use ideas and phrases and terms that we say you should. And you refrain from using or promoting any ideas or concepts that we say you shouldn't. Because we understand why, and you don't understand that you're actually just promoting the abuse and molestation of innocent white children, like Sarah is here. She thinks she's doing the right thing. She's our hero, okay? Because she's too dumb. So if you're too dumb, like Sarah, to understand that you're just promoting the molestation of white children, okay, then you need to just accept that you're too dumb to understand how this all works, and listen to us who do, or we're going to call you out as anti-white scum who are responsible, directly responsible, personally responsible for innocent white children being molested. And those children are going to grow up and know that folk like Sarah are personally responsible for the suffering they had to go through their entire lives. We will not forget and we will not forgive. Alright? So again, if you're too dumb, you can't figure it out yourself, you listen to us who are more intelligent. We tell you how to think, what to say, what not to say. And you do as you're told, you think what we tell you to think, you say what we tell you to say, and you don't say what we tell you not to say. Alright, again, or you'll be exposed as anti-white scum who's responsible for the molestation of white children. You will not be forgiven. We will never forget. The choice is yours. If you want to be a vile monster who's responsible for the abuse of innocent white children, don't listen or don't understand. Don't follow our advice, our guidance, our direction, our authority. Right? Or be intelligent enough to understand for yourself, or just shut the fuck up and listen and do what you're told. Pretty straightforward, pretty basic. Alright, so that's MPs, that's all you need to know about how the world works and how to help recapture the destiny of our people as members of Western kind. Take it easy.